I was taken to a game at Filbert Street, Leicester City's old ground, to watch Man United play. My dad was a huge Man United fan, and that was it. He was a big fan of United, and I was hooked from then on.
In person, the earliest memory I have is meeting Gareth Southgate. My granddad and my mum took me to the Villa Club shop where he was doing like a signing, and he asked me if I was going to be a footballer myself, and this was my chance to get in the England squad, not knowing. And I turned around and said, no, I'm going to be a fireman, obviously. But that was my calling in football, meeting Gareth Southgate, probably the first thing I remember. Or early mornings getting up on my own and watching Italian football on Channel 4 because there was nothing else on.
3, 2, 1.
I think probably one of my first football memories was in the '98 World Cup, when Brazil played France and Ronaldo obviously had that unfortunate tournament. But in terms of United, I'd probably say the FA Cup semi-final, Arsenal against United, and Ryan Giggs scored that amazing goal in the semi-final.
So when I was growing up, there was an Italian defender called Paolo Maldini, and he was such a handsome guy, and he was an immense defender as well. And I remember at me age like 9 or 10 thinking, that is the guy I want to be. Not because he was just amazingly good looking, but he was just such a good defender as well. And I think most football fans will acknowledge that.
First player that made me really appreciate the game was Francesco Totti. Watching him, just like the master of the back heel, amazing at chipping the keeper from anywhere in the pitch. He was just amazing to watch. So he was the first person that kind of got me into Italian football. Domestically, as boring as it might sound, Gareth Barry. Not necessarily the most exciting player, but just a real workman, someone who played for the badge.
Oh, footballing heroes. Eric Cantona, absolute legend. Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, David Beckham. Obviously all United legends in their own ways. Start off bat, obviously being as young as I am, it's a bit difficult to kind of see players that have gone back as far as they have, and obviously a limited sort of footage around of, for instance, like Bobby Charlton, Busby Babes, Duncan Edwards, etc. But you kind of try and find what you can on there.
Well, I've got 3 daughters, so I guess becoming a girl dad was the one thing that kind of changed me quite a bit. Getting them involved in football has been a fascinating experience, and to be honest, they're really into it. So combining those 2 passions, my daughters and football, has been great.
Spending as much time chilling with my wife as I can. We like good food, so finding a good place to go and eat or cook. I like to travel when we can. And that's kind of it, really. Football takes up so much of my time, I don't really have time for much else.
So, I mean, for my job I'm a builder, so I like to keep busy and kind of work on things like at home. And the other half, she's quite creative, so she does a lot of sort of like interior work and stuff like that and designing, so I'm quite passionate about that. But I quite enjoy sort of cooking and things like that as well, so